Alright, what's up guys? So today we're going to be installing our spare tire delete kit. I bought the DV8 Offroad spare tire delete kit, so we're going to go ahead and start by taking off the spare tire. Alright, so now that you have your spare tire off, we're going to go ahead and skip some of the steps that DV8 has in their instructions. We're going to go inside the tailgate and work on some of the steps in here. It'll make it so much easier once you take off the spare tire carrier. So we're just going to take off these two panels here with the panel remover. So after you remove those interior panel covers, you'll be able to access all your wires in here, and I'll show you why it's easier to just do it in here before you take the actual spare tire carrier off. So once you have that side panel cover off, you can go ahead and disconnect these two wires here. Should just be a push and pull tab. Like that, and like that. So now that these two wires are disconnected, we can go ahead and remove this grommet here that goes to the back side of the tailgate. So once you release that and pull those wires through, then this whole assembly will come off, where you don't have to worry about taking this apart while it's on the car, or taking any of this apart while it's on the car just to access those wires. These wires will come through together. You can take this whole thing off and work on your bench or on the floor, whatever you prefer, whatever is easier for you. So this is just push style to get this grommet out. Just push in all four tabs and you should be able to get all those wires out. Just like that. So now that your tire is off, you pulled those wires through, we can go ahead and close our tailgate, and we're gonna remove the actual tire carrier with 8 bolts. It's 13 millimeter. Go ahead and take those off. So now your whole tire carrier is off, your wires are out. The way that DV8 had it on their instructions, you had to keep all of this on, take this top part off, just this third brake light off, split it in half, take the wires out, and then split this in half, take that wire out. It's so much easier if you take the whole thing off. That way you can work with it on the ground or on your bench. Alright, so now we can go ahead and remove the third brake light from the tire carrier. You're going to use a T30 bit. After you take those bolts out, go ahead and take these out here. Everything. Alright, so now we can separate the halves of the third brake light. I'm going to use a T20. Once you remove those T20 bolts, you can separate your third brake light in half. Like that. Now we can get our wiring for our third brake light out. Right there is just another push tab. And then we'll use these T20s to get your third brake light out of the bracket. So now your third brake light is out of the bracket there. And you can use this in your DV8 spare tire delete. On the tire carrier, to get the camera out, you just have to pull this out and you have your camera. Just be very careful with it. There's going to be one T20 bolt right here to remove, and then you can take your camera out of the bracket. Alright, so in your DV8 spare tire delete kit, you're going to find this mounting bracket. We're going to put it face down with these towards the floor. we're gonna find this thicker foam gasket that's gonna go between the paint and the bracket. That way, you know, you get a tighter seal and it doesn't scratch up your paint. So now that your foam gasket is on your mounting bracket, we can go ahead and install it onto the Bronco. So now that you took all your wiring harnesses out, you put your rubber gasket on the mounting plate. We're gonna go ahead and mount the mounting plate to the tailgate using the factory hardware. Now that you have the mounting bracket on, we're gonna go ahead and install the thinner rubber gasket. So now we're gonna go to the outer piece of the spare tire delete. We're gonna put our third brake light in there. And then you wanna hold on to that third brake light and insert your camera. There's gonna be a bracket like this that's gonna gently hold that camera into place. And you're gonna use the factory hardware for your brake light. So after you got your third brake light and your camera installed, you're gonna take your license plate light, slide it in, and then it should just snap in place. Just like that. And then at this point, you wanna make sure you put your license plate on. That way you can actually put it on. You won't be able to put it on once you bolt this to your mounting plate. So after you connected your wires, you can go ahead and mount up your spare tire delete bracket. There's just 4 bolts on each side. Third brake light's installed, camera's installed, license plate light's installed, and your license plate is on. Now you can decide which plug you're gonna use for this. You can either use the bottle opener and light mount or just a flat plug. You do need to extend the wiring harness for your license plate light to get it to the spare tire delete. So I just cut it off here. I'm just gonna have to do my best to reach in here and add some extensions. That way I can run it up behind the bumper, through some firewall, and then up some paneling, and then through the tailgate to the license plate light. So license plate harness extension is just hidden behind there. I cut a hole through this loom here to route that wire, and then I cut an exit hole here, ran it down this side panel, and then it'll go under this trim piece. You'll pull this weather stripping back, tuck the wire behind it, and then drop the wire below there. I'm just gonna wire loom it so you obviously can't see the wires, and then we can attach that end to the factory side of the license plate harness.